The Dark Tower is directed by Nikolai Arcel and stars Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey and Tom Taylor. Based on a book series by Stephen King, this movie tells the story of a gunslinger, Roland, played by Idris Elba, and his quest to stop the Man in Black, played by Matthew McConaughey, from destroying the Dark Tower, an ancient structure in the centre of the universe that keeps all of reality together. Along the way, he's joined by Jake Chambers, played by Tom Taylor, who may have a bigger role in this fight than he realises. If you've been watching my reviews up until now, it should come as no surprise that I've never read any Dark Tower books, although I have read other Stephen King books and really enjoyed them. But for once, I feel as if my ignorance of the source material might be for the better this time, as one only needs to type a few words into Google to find out that this movie is apparently the Dragon Ball evolution of Stephen King adaptations. But then again, it's also apparently a sequel to the books, except it isn't, because it has a lot of the elements from all the books, except it is, because Roland is apparently carrying around something he got in the last book, and they want to do more films and a tie-in TV series, and this has been in development since 2007, with everyone from J.J. Abrams to Aaron Paul to Liam Neeson attached to it. So would it really surprise you if I told you this movie is pretty much a mess? Okay, I tell a lie. It wasn't god-awful, but then I've never read the books, so maybe it is, I don't know. I hope you'll understand that I didn't much feel like going out and dropping maybe £100 on an entire book series of over 4,000 pages just for this review, so here we are. Where I know nothing about the books, and I'm just going to review the movie. Okay? Looking at the description of it on my local cinema's website, the first problem reared its ugly head, and that's the fact that this movie is 95 minutes long. And it really feels like it. The plot is constantly zooming past with no time to focus on the developing friendship between Jake and Roland, or why the Man in Black is an evil bastard, or much of anything, really. This movie just feels incredibly rushed. Maybe that isn't surprising given its development time, during which a TV adaptation was considered, and really, from what little I know of the books, I think that would have been a much better choice to go the Game of Thrones route and adapt the book series for TV, rather than have this jumbled sequel, except not really sequel nonsense. That said, Idris Elba is fantastic as Roland, while Tom Taylor felt honestly embarrassing to watch. Like, just last week, I saw Annabelle Creation, and most of the child actors in that were great, especially Lulu Wilson. But all it took was this one movie to remind me just how badly a bad child actor can fuck up an entire movie. Sometimes he shows signs of rising above himself, but most of the time it was the definition of cringe. As for Matthew McConaughey, I don't think he can make up his mind on what sort of villain he wanted to be. He's constantly shifting back and forth. In one scene, he appears inside Roland's head, taunting him about his mistakes and all that. It's really dark and intense, and then in the same scene, he walks through a portal, smiles at the people behind him and goes, "Have a nice apocalypse." I'm not saying he was bad as the Man in Black, but he just felt like he couldn't decide what the hell he was doing. However, now that I've been mean for a bit, let's try and find some positives. I will admit, the world this film takes place in is pretty fascinating, even if the film itself doesn't really explore it all that much. All these different worlds and cowboys and sorcerers in one world with demons in another is actually really interesting, and I wanted to see more of it. Like, I might try the book series after watching this, because it is interesting. But the film never takes some time to calm down a bit and explore the characters and the world they find themselves in, because, again, 95 minutes. An hour and 35. The action scenes are also pretty good. Idris Elba is essentially John Wick if John Wick was a motherfucking cowboy, which, fine by me. Totally fine by me. And This is weird, but something that really stood out to me for some reason was that Roland's guns, the firing effect, they sound fucking awesome. I don't know why I noticed that, but I did. And, again, this is all totally fine by me, but The Dark Tower never manages to escape the feeling of just being a really conventional movie, at best. Like, it comes daringly close to being worse than that at some point, especially towards the halfway mark where, mild spoilers, Roland and Jake find a village and it's implied this village girl is in love with Jake or something. Then he has a big heroic moment where he rescues her and she's never seen again. I suspect that she was mostly left on the cutting room floor, but the film has a few of these moments where characters and subplots are set up and then never go anywhere. These moments have just made me realise how much more I'll probably be enjoying this feels a Game of Thrones TV adaptation style thing. I'm going to give The Dark Tower a 4 out of 10. So guys, let me know, have you seen The Dark Tower? What did you think of it? Or what is your favourite Stephen King adaptation? Whatever it is, let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.